I digest. I'm just tired of repeating, I digress. Trying to find deeper meaning in nonsense. Trying to grow without hating the process. Tired of anticipating the worst, yeah.
Hey y'all, come on in, come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are back tonight to talk Bad Influence, the Dark Side of Kidfluencing, a documentary we watched a couple weeks ago, originally had on the schedule and are just now kind of getting around to talking about it. And I'm just trigger warning in the beginning. There's some really uncomfortable stuff, some really terrible things that transpired in this doc. We're going to do our best to be respectful to the victims in it, but we're definitely going to talk about it, okay? But of course, I'm not here alone. Y'all see her. Y'all see her over there. Struggle Reviewz TV. Tyra, how are you today? And are you ready to get into this docuseries?
I am okay, and I'm always ready. Like I still feel like we need some more answers. There's some things to talk about that we didn't quite cover that I want to talk about. So yeah, I'm always ready. Feeling good.
Girl, okay. Well, let's get right into it without further ado. But hello first to everyone who is here. We see you. We appreciate you. Thank you guys for riding out with us every single time. Anakin, not Vader, what's good? I see you. Tremaine, I see you, sis. Hey, TG, what's going on? Hey, pretty girl. Hey, Tony T. Hey, yeah, the gang's all here. Come
Everybody,
on.
everybody, the gang's all here.
It's all here.
Our folks in the house. Yeah.
Yeah, but let's get into it. And I don't have a slide here for it. As you guys know, I always do an overall thoughts, but I thought let's start with the synopsis, then give me your overall thoughts, Tyra. So Bad Influence, The Dark Side of Kidfluencing is a 2025 three-part docuseries that premiered on Netflix, examining the contentious realm of child influencers. It delves into allegations of abuse linked to internet celebrity Piper Rockelle and her mother, Tiffany Smith, uncovering complex dynamics within the digital phenomenon. Now, Tyra, we just got done with Ruby Frankie Nim, okay? We just got done. What do you think about this present age of kidfluencing, and what were your overall thoughts? Because we know you don't like a docuseries. You feel like these people can do it in one movie. Give us a documentary.
Yeah, well, this was one where I didn't mind the length and it being, a three-parter, because sometimes it's just really not warranted and then we try my patience. This was different. I think we needed to kind of get into where we started to get to where we ended up, and the three-part was very, very necessary. I loved all of this. This is very validating as to why I always looked at them channels and them kids sideways. Always, like, it just takes and not to say that that's everybody's story, because there are others who could be, going through the process of making your kid a influencer and all, but every little bad notation that I ever thought of, it was here. It was here, and it's scary because it's not going anywhere, and we see how popular that these children become and how tantalizing it could be financially, as to why some of these parents would get in
Talk
this
about
documentary and say one thing when you can just really feel that this was I was looking the other way because I didn't want to mess up my baby's opportunity and our coin. And it's
talk
very
about
much so that, but I appreciate that, along with really getting into the mother. I don't even know they have a name. The mother. The mother, and the type of woman that she was to even facilitate anything like this.
Oh, girl, she was a demon. She was a demon straight from the pits of hell. And of course, we're going to go back from the beginning. But yeah, I feel like it's hard, right? Because the space of influencing, period, whether you're an adult or a child, is not regulated. Like it's like the wild, wild west. And so for the kids, you're depending on the integrity and character of a parent who now is gaining their whole income, the way they take care of their other kids themselves, on the backs of their child. And so you see very quickly how any moral character goes out the window when a bag is on the table. It's really disgusting. And I won't come out and blatantly be like all kidfluencers are bad, or every, child who has a presence online in terms of content creation is being pimped out. But in this case, Piper and the squad definitely were being pimped out. Definitely. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it in my mind. I will say allegedly for some things, because at the end of the day, this heifer has not been convicted of a crime. But let's start here. We meet Tiffany Smith, hailing from Georgia. She became a single mother at 26 years old to her daughter, Piper Rockelle. Smith first became popular in the public eye after entering her daughter into beauty contests and pageants, which is a whole other thing. Jean Bonnet, okay? Have we learned nothing from Jean Bonnet and her people? And so she gained a large social media following. I think when Piper was 3 years old, because she would
Mhm.
whole get ready with me, the faces, the bumpers, the big hair, the makeup, the full looks. And so eventually, after that, after the virality on social media, she decided to get into the YouTube space. They started doing web series, like vlog style stuff. And then she kind of understood the power of community and what that looks like in this space. Tyra, what did you think about her beginning? I feel like the family knew Tiffany was trash from the very beginning. I feel like she was a trash mom from the beginning. I don't, you know how some people say, oh, the fame, the money got to her.
Mhm.
I think when she had Piper, she said, this is my golden ticket. This is the way I'm going to make money. What did you think about her background?
Absolutely. The one thing that they did say was, as far as whatever her relationship was with Piper's dad, it was like a sense of not only do we not need you, but I'm going to prove that we're so much better off without you. And this was just her driving force to make that happen. But I mean, she's not. Let me not be. Everybody.
She understood. She's from the land of
Everybody's in a
uncute.
beauty queen, you know? Everybody's in a beauty queen. And there is a tendency with these parents who maybe weren't that girl. If we have a beautiful child, beautiful gowns, who may have the potential to be that, we live vicariously through those children and try to push all of these things onto them, all of these ambitions and things that we couldn't achieve on our own. It's just really sad because the way that her mind works and how she was kind of on the outskirts to know what this could build up to be as far as YouTube and influencing. It was very impactful. It was very smart decisions being made. There was no reason for her to be this nasty because you were successful. You saw something where you have a lot of other parents and everybody else in the doc like, you two, like, you guys are really making money over there. Is there really opportunity to brand and get on Dance Twins and Dance Moms and really get so much popularity to where you have enough of a following to get brand deals? Is that really a thing? She saw this way before, so it's like it wasn't just enough to get the success. She was just a nasty human being from the beginning because you don't just turn this way out of nowhere. Disgusting.
Absolutely. And I feel like because we will meet her sister and we'll talk about the familial connections a little bit later. But it was like, Tiffany was always Tiffany. And we weren't even close like that initially until, she invited us out again for her impure motives. Again, eventually they moved to Los Angeles to pursue careers for herself and her daughter. And Tyra, I think you're right. If she had been a decent hearted person, she would have got a bag on her own, managing or being an agent or a
Yep.
content director. She had that in the bag because the heifer is an ugly, diabolical genius. All right. I said it. Tyra didn't want to say it. I'll say it. She's from the land of uncute, right? Tiffany gets nothing from me. And so what we do immediately though, once we get to LA is we get to that bag. We definitely get to the money. And I will say from the beginning, when we see the entry point to it, it wasn't as crazy as it turned out, right? We do see it. She is a dancer. Okay. So it's that she's got her little friends on that she met on Dance Twins. And now she's doing web series. She's meeting more people and she's literally getting to the bag, Tyra. We talked about Ruby Frankie Nim. Piper Nim is on a whole other level. They said that by the time at her height, I think she was up to $600,000 a month just
Yeah.
in YouTube. Just YouTube.
I hated her so much. These little docs are pissing me off about this old YouTube money. Like, get, you know, it's not about us. Let's just keep going.
Absolutely. And we're seeing this. And of course, her daughter is on the camera. She's pushing everything she can to get her to be somebody. And then finally she gets the bright idea after doing the web series and meeting other kidfluencers and is like, you know what? I got something for you. I am going to create a collective, if you will. I'm going to create a squad, right? And this was masterful. This is actually the vision, honey. If you're somebody, especially in a space that's underrepresented, the idea, I mean, what me and Tyra have been doing,
Try,
child.
try so hard. You know what I mean? Tried hard as hell. We can't. It's hard out here in these streets. Boy, we
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
Boy.
So so she develops a squad in 2018. These are all people on their own, but Piper is at the helm because Piper has the biggest following. So what does she do? She gets these other kids on and their parents and is like, listen, we'll put you on, we'll feature you on our channel, but then you're going to create your own YouTube channel and we're going to feed traffic there. Then we're going to bring the next one on and we're going to do the same thing until we're all sitting at the hundreds of thousands, millions, whatever. Okay.
Who knew?
Yeah. And so and because Tiffany is the mastermind of all of this, everyone's getting a bag. You get a bag, you get a bag, you get a bag, and I get my 10% off the top. Because not only am I going to be curating your pages, this content, I'm going to bring someone in, my 18-year-old boyfriend. He's going to be the videographer, all of that, and I'm going to set you up, okay? Initially, Tyra, parents are fine with it. Absolutely. I think the lowest paid in this circle, I think, was making like $25,000, $30,000 a month on YouTube.
Yeah.
Crazy. What do you think about this, honey, and the payment structure? Because this is the squad coming together. Good idea, Tyra?
Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. Like, I just get really this part made me irritated because I see this so much. Like, first of all, when it has this age demographic, when you're getting into the realm of the gaming era, kidfluencing, like the Mr. Beast, this is what they do. This is what they do. And every single time there is a sense of a squad or a house and they're conjoining, it's always something problematic that unfolds and something you discover later. All of these things that are unraveling here with Piper and her mother, we've seen this before. If you follow, especially if you have children, I wouldn't know who the heck these people were if I didn't have kids, because it's just not my realm of watching. But I've seen all of them and I've seen these situations, and I just like, why can't we do this? Why can't we do this? It's just, I don't know. Like, this is a very smart idea. You know, who knew? This is a great idea because it's all about networking and, you know, the building blocks. It's you know, it's just really hard to have this type of structure here for whatever reason. But okay. This was brilliant. You know, this is brilliant. As they said in the doc, this has never been, you know, Piper's Piper, and then the mother is the mother, evil genius or not. A lot of these things she curated was from watching other people. Like, oh, okay, yeah, we're gonna steal it, we're gonna do it. Like, they're doing it, and this is what you see a lot of them doing at the time, and even still now, to build up their core and build up their audiences. I think is pretty genius. It's unfortunate that it had to be this way, but this was extremely smart. More people should, you know, try to do it for themselves.
You know, it's very smart. It's brilliant until it's not. Because
Yeah.
we'll see the people did pay the price for this structure. But in theory, like I said, if you're in an underserved community, if you guys are like-minded and doing the same thing with a similar vision,
Yeah.
this is the blueprint, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I will say, though, I think the problem comes in when we have this type of circle. It's one thing when it's us, we're sound-minding, body, you know, grown-ass adults. When it's children, it's something totally different. And then when it's the type of content, a lot of this is, you know, shock and let's, you know, be out here. We have to, you know, top whatever we did last week to keep that engagement up. So there is a need to want to be outlandish, but how outlandish are we going to be with everybody here being under the age of 18? And then, you know, other things coming to question that are falling on their mama's back that had her out here acting crazy as hell and disgusting and being a predator.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get to the abuses. But we're starting with the weirdness and the complicity of it all, where I feel like the parents were only mad because the money stopped. Because let's not be under any delusion. From the beginning, Tiffany was gross. There was things that happened in those first couple months once the squad got together that any decent parent would have pulled their child immediately. Because not only is Tiffany creating these branded relationships among these 12 13-year-olds, right? Their boyfriend, girl, they Benifer. You would think it's J-Lo and Ben Affleck. Like, when they used to do that?
Mhm.
You
Crush,
know,
crush content. My
just
crush.
yeah, just disgusting though. And the idea that this content, while kids did consume it, there were preteens that consume this. The majority of the people consuming this content were predators. Let's be honest. And as it progresses, we see her trying to make the girls dress sexy, trying to push them into their firsts, whatever that looks like, filming them in very uncomfortable and compromising situations. And not only that, just being weird and abusive, even with the little dog. My thing is, there's no way in the world, Tyra, I'm dropping my child off at a content house
Yeah.
with Tiffany. And she's the only guidance there. What were the parents thinking? And once you saw your child in the first crush content video, what are you doing?
I mean, we wouldn't have made it there. Like, this is where the problem comes in. We're whatever. The moment you tell me I'm not allowed to be somewhere, that's where the line is drawn. Because what are you doing that I can't be there? As a parent, like, what are you doing that I can't be there? That's where the line is drawn. The moment you tell me, well, yeah, that's off limits. I got it. Just drop them off and you're not allowed to be there. Then okay, yeah, bye. You get your kid, you get in the car and all of this. And I love how they try to, which I'm sure that had a part to play in it. But as a parent, as a mother, as a father, you have seniority to protect your children. It's just like, well, I really didn't like certain things, or we wanted to, but they were like, Mom, like, come on, I want to be here. It's cool, my friends. Like, are allowing, their children to make up their own mind. And I don't want to take something away. I didn't want them to be sad. They said this is their opportunity and I was messing it up. So, and it was just really cool. She has a way. It was so much blame. She has a way of pulling you in and making you feel safe. And just, I don't know how she does it. It's just so magical. Like, she didn't do anything. She didn't do anything that anybody else didn't do. It was up to you as a parent to protect your children, regardless of what they said. These are 12, 11, and 13-year-old children, and you're letting them tell you what they're going to do. And it took all the way up until X, Y, and Z of being exposed for you to go, I had no clue that those things were taking place. Yes, you did. Maybe not down to the T, but you knew that something was wrong. You didn't care.
Because you were getting a bag. It was paying your mortgage. It was paying your car payment. It was paying for your other children. It was paying for this lifestyle.
Did you see any Black children here?
Well, okay, so listen. So Corinne, which was her friend from Dance Twins, was a biracial girl.
I'm talking about little Keisha in there.
Well, no.
Okay. Keisha, Jazz, aka Jasmine, those kids. Darius. Did you see any of them here? No, because you're not. Because we don't do this. First of all, this is about branding. We probably weren't going to have any of us there anyway. If we want to keep it all the way funky. Corinne being biracial slid for a reason. Those things were, sliding for a reason. It's all about marketing. We wouldn't want little Ray Ray and Junebug and them over there trying to get a bag and be a kid influencer, But there just isn't going to be any way, shape, or form as a parent that you are going to tell me we're going to do this and that. Let's just say you went with the flow that first time. The moment that I see the content, that's where I'm drawing the line. Like, yeah, like what is this? What's going on? I don't care. What are you mansplaining or what? It's just going to be a no. All of it was, borderline sexual, always suggestive. And those are the things that you're seeing on camera. So what the hell's going on off camera? You're getting out of here, get your stuff, and we're leaving.
Yeah, because as soon as I meet Tiffany, 30, 35 pluser, with an 18-year-old who just turned 18, that's my first red flag. Because what is he doing here?
Yeah, a predator, somebody else that she can control and take advantage of. My issue was we're getting here, and I know at this time YouTube was just, the Kidfluencing is just a fresh thing. But when you tell me you need damn near power of attorney over all of my everything, as far as accounts, payouts, X, Y, and Z, even for me to be here, for what?
Mm-hmm.
What do you need access for? Yeah, not even just access to upload things. No, you need access to where the Google Funds payout goes, and access to upload and go will take that. It was absolutely stupid on these parents' part. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, even like you said, Hunter, an 18-year-old who's definitely groomed. I mean, at this, even today, refused to testify against this predator who is now, I mean, okay, we'll get to it. But then outside of that, he's 18, calling 12 and 13-year-olds his best friends. I just find the whole thing sick and twisted. And the fact that there were, I think, better of 15 different kids and parent sets that were a part of this. And it took them losing a bag to finally say something. And so here is we have a list of the entire squad, honey, and the dates that they left. And that damn Frank the dog that Tiffany would use to basically talk crazy to everybody on camera in the voice and character of this dog. And so this is just a list so you can see kind of the plethora of all of the children who were involved. And not for nothing, but the kids are all a little bit odd, all a
Yeah.
little bit strange. I don't know. And I think she did that by design and intention because I think she felt like she knew I can control these kids and I can control their parents. Do you think it's just like the everyday predator, Tyra, where they basically select their prey like based on not, I don't want to say the weakness, but the susceptibility to be preyed upon?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Predators know how to seek out vulnerable people along with their parents. If she didn't think that she could control or take advantage, and it's not hard because it's not like she had nothing to offer. Not only are you offering exposure and opportunity, but money. That's the main thing. That's the main thing. As soon as you see something, and then there's this like, well, everybody else is doing it. You see all these other kids here, and it's just like, what's so bad about it? But all of this, it was just too much time being spent in this house to give somebody that type of power over your children, and then not even the salacious stuff like the dog and the problematic commentary and her using that as a puppet for her inner self, disgusting lady. There is the actual schedule,
Mhm.
the lack of education, school, interaction. Those things are completely beeline, and we have to be up and at them at every single hour on the hour. All of these, and I love that they keep talking about this. YouTube is a whole nother space, but I'm sure you might have something for that. But this keeps coming up. All of these stories and the unveiling of these squads and these kids and the Mr. Beast s community gaming of it all, things kind of going sideways because there's no regulation where you would have SAG and kids and what you aren't allowed to do beyond a certain age, and these laws in place. But that's for Hollywood. YouTube is new, so we're treating it as something obsolete, and people think that they have licensing to do whatever they want to do, how long they want to do it, push boundaries, because who gonna check me, boo? This is YouTube. And they keep saying it in these docs, like, well, yeah, we really need to get a handle on that. This is getting out of hand. Like, when?
Where's the
When? How long
legislation?
are we gonna allow YouTube to be the Wild West? And what's interesting is it gets to be the Wild West when it comes to, yo, we can barely breathe on here.
Oh yeah.
We adults, grown ass adults, we can barely breathe on here as far as content talking about a film before they are ready to snatch something, demonetize something, mute something, block something. These kids, as far as these thumbnails, the suggestive things that are happening in these videos, the non suggestive things where they are just, scantily clad, kissing this, that, it's there and it's fine. Like, excuse me? I
Yeah.
don't get it.
It's such a problem, and I thank you for bringing that up because even in Hollywood, we know the battles, the journeys, and just till recently, kind of some of the safeguards that have put in place, but still not fully being abided to. Even in Hollywood, now you come over here and you have lawmakers saying, "Well, YouTube, that's not really a thing,"
Yeah.
laughing about it. Oh, that's just for fun. No, some of these people are being worked 15, 16, 17 hours a day. These babies, and there is no regulation for it, and they're chalking it up to, well, it is what it is. It's their parents. That's their parents' responsibility. And that was part of the contention again from the other parents that didn't become an issue until the bag stopped. Because, I thought she'd have tutors there for them, and I thought she would do this. What made you think that? Did you ask? Did you go over there? Oh, that's right. You weren't allowed to come uninvited
Girl,
to the content house. And it's sick and ridiculous. So now that we're all of that, the squad is up, we do have some parents and some kids now feeling uncomfortable because Tiffany is doing the most, and we'll get to her kissing that little trans boy in the mouth and doing all other things. But now we have some parents that are like, okay, enough is enough, I'm out of here, I'm leaving. We have some falling outs, right? I didn't do what Tiffany wanted me to do, and so now I've been exiled, I've been blackballed, and so that brings us back to the structure, because now I was a part of this group, I was a part of the squad, and now that I'm not, I'm gonna sick my fans on you. They're gonna unfollow you. Tiffany, apparently they say, had some weight with somebody who could stop the algorithm. The
Yeah,
one baby said he had 1 million viewers and couldn't get a view. Couldn't get a view to save his life after he left the squad. So now we're running into bullying and finding more replacements. So now, Tyra, at this point, we have parents who done seen what the other children went through. I mean, Hollywood, not for nothing, the YouTube space there is not huge. It's not huge. They know, but they were looking at it. Oh, this is my chance. This is my chance to get in and get this bag. What did you think about the bullying and then the replacements and the following being weaponized like this?
I'm not surprised. This was all curated and planned. This is why she wanted that higher of access in the first place, so that she could do these things at her leisure. This is to check anyone following. Yeah, you see what happened to that person. You don't let that be you. Don't let that be you. That's to keep everybody in place. Like, this is just really sad that you would have at least a parent or two early on go, you know what, I'm not liking what's happening here, I'm going to remove my baby. There's always somebody right behind who's willing to step into that space. And she knew that. I think with her, it wasn't so much of who she was before, but when you realize, when you have those type of antics going on, they're hyper like sensitive once you have power. Then I just think that she was just really running on with it because let me see how far I can push this. What else can I get them to do? What can I get these kids in this house to do before somebody stops me?
Yeah. Because now I have carte blanche access and power, because all I have to do is say, yeah, if I see you talking to them, if I see you promoting their channel, if I see you even like a post, I'm unfollowing you and you're no longer my friend anymore. And what it really got me into the mind of or thinking about is, what was the impact on Piper? Is Piper at this point, like, does she have Stockholm syndrome? I mean, it is her mother. And kids will love even a bad mother, Tyra. But these friendships, I mean, this was your best friend yesterday, and now you hate their stinking guts and you have a new bestie. Like, what does that do to a child's psyche?
For anybody who, unfortunately, anyone who ends up like Piper's mother, their first test subject is the one that's closest to them. So any and everything that she probably eventually did to any of these children, she did it to her first. And it's so many moments. We don't, get a whole lot of Piper outside of what someone else has to say after the fact or those videos, but you do see her beyond anybody else, those kids, like, okay, mom, like, you're doing too much. Like, can you just, this sense of just embarrassment. And you also have the kids say, well, she's, so used to it. She just thinks that this is normal. So there is, a sense of that. I think that Piper has been conduced to this so long that she is a bit brainwashed. She is aware because it is uncomfortable enough for her to register that I don't want to see you doing this to anybody else. But what are you going to do when your mother has been doing this to you or whatever, who knows, for however long?
Yeah. What do you do? Read it, Tyra, because I'm not fooling with Dane.
Thank you so much, Jane, for the $2. Y'all watch way too much crazy YouTube people content because it's just so much, Dane. Name some other way much. Name it. Where? Where was it? Because it wasn't a lot. Dane, be quiet.
He can't help it.
Every time.
And now we get into the abuses. So now that everything's kind of toppled and we're having a lot of unrest with the squad, I think she lost a total of 11 people in this first round, and each of these 11 filed a class action lawsuit against her civilly, because mind you, to this day, Tiffany has not been tried criminally or prosecuted criminally for any of this. But trigger warning, you guys, this is CSA, all that stuff. And so sexual abuse, right? To not only the boys, apparently, but the girls. We saw her kiss that 16-year-old trans boy in the mouth and said that they scrubbed it. We also saw Piper in that video snatch her head back, like, Mom,
Yeah.
what the hell are you doing? That wasn't her only inappropriateness. Apparently, she was touching the girls at night in the bed. She was rubbing on them. She was rubbing on the boys. She was trying to force them to have oral sex with each other, to wear sexually revealing clothing. She was spanking their butt. Like, it was all kinds of weird stuff that she was doing. And the girls, and I mean, these are including her nieces, y'all, because she does eventually call her sister's sister and her sister's wife's daughters to come to be a part of the influencer content house. And she was touching on everybody, doing all manner of evil against all of these children, the boys and the girls. And the ones that she didn't like, she was bullying and being nasty and just talking crazy to. Tyra, were you surprised by any of the allegations? And what do you really think is the reason she has not had to do time and why she's not under the jail
Because she
currently?
a white tea woman. Because of the space it is, because of the YouTube, the same reason why these things were able to go on for so long. We do have those scenarios where we do have an outside force be called to come in and some child services because things aren't looking okay across those streets. And they do nothing because of who she is. She couldn't possibly be a predator. She couldn't possibly be doing anything wrong. She is a white tea wealthy woman. What business would she have to be sexually abusive or
With money.
be, yeah, but why would she? Like, she has everything. Like, there is always levity given to a little complexion for the protection, and how wealthy she was, the location, everything plays a part even now into why there was no justice being done. And then it's just always a delayed reaction to YouTubers for whatever reason. And it's not even just in a justice sense, just YouTube, period, where you will have, rumblings of a conversation where, things aren't okay. These things are coming up. Complaints are being made. Lawsuits are being filed. Allegations are stacking up. And it's always until like the very ass end of the incident. Oh, we got to take them off the platform. It's never anything immediate.
Yeah.
Now, if I get on here, you get on here, and we say something wrong, it's
Yeah.
getting snatched down. You're getting this, that, and oh my God, I couldn't access my channel for months because they said I did. Yeah, it's just it pertains to what you're whatever you're generating for the site, what you're generating for social media. The numbers, those are the things that matter. The branding that matters, because they're bringing viewership and money here, and we're this is a relationship now. This is why she had access to whatever higher ups to shut down an account.
Mhm.
If you have X amount of followers and engagement, you're prioritized. So
Yeah.
yeah, up until a certain point, and until we absolutely have to, we're gonna, let you rock. And I'm sure that plays a part into why Justice, well, she's still on the platform. They haven't removed her on YouTube. Like, is it serious? Are these just, allegations? Is this jealousy? Do people just want money? We have to excuse everything around in this circle before we go and go, oh, well, you know what? This is wrong. We need to remove her and we need to put her in jail.
But it just behooves me that they didn't say, okay, let's take a look at this content until we get a couple people with a bone, right? Okay, I'm not gonna go to her yet. Hold on, because I do want to talk about until we get here to the campaign. And for whatever reason, you're right. It's like they can do anything. Little people. I'll call little people can say things or observe or leave a comment, right? They get deleted. I think it took Pink to say something. And this one
Girl.
white lady, honey, who said, I don't like the way this looks. I've made it my mission to come after these kidfluencer moms because I think it's disgusting and embarrassing. And so they go on a tweet Instagram campaign. And finally, it starts to get noticed and some recognition. And then we get a class action from the 11 past members. But it took this, Tyra. Is this the age?
Two additional white tea women.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
it says a whole lot as far as complaints being filed. Up until a certain point, it wasn't an actual parent or a victim of hers.
Mhm.
Now, I think that would have held more weight, someone who was closer to the action, to go, these are the things that I experienced, the reasons I walked away, the reasons. No, everybody, even the parents who decided, oh, okay, this is too much, I'm going to remove my child, they didn't want to affect their branding or have a
money.
ill relationship with her, even though it happened anyway. She's still, once you excommunicado, girl, you cancel. We canceling Christmas. We canceling
Mhm.
everything, and we're gonna, your name is mud in the community, and then we're gonna have all this backlash to where you're not getting the engagement or afforded the branding that you were in the first place to even be in this house. So it happened anyway, but by that time, it's just kind of too late, and they're just trying to pick up the pieces. And the money was everything was good, and then all of a sudden she did this to us. Yeah, okay, well, yeah, that shouldn't have trumped you going and filing somebody's suit, somebody's case, putting things on record to go, this heifer did X, Y, and Z in this house, along with the little 18. Everybody played a part, and I want to make a report. I want to file something. So somebody, y'all should go check this out. Even though I removed my child, there are other people, even her child, at risk in this home. Nobody was doing anything. But this would be, like, oh, okay, the white tea moms are all right now. They're making a
Yeah.
campaign. We got to do
Yeah.
something. Pink said we got to do something.
Because
Alicia said we got to do something. There you go, looking pitiful. Just because I let you go, said we got to do something.
we got to do something. I mean, before that, and you started to see whispers here and there just in the online community, but that meant nothing. I'll get you deleted. Like the video where she's kissing that boy when he's 16 years old, got scrubbed. Said I couldn't find it anymore. But even then, it was like, oh, I just brushed it off. I just, I decided I wasn't going to go around them anymore, and it was just fine. And there were so many instances of, I'm not going to raise a stink about it. I'm just going to exit silently. But I think what's hard, and that's with any predator abused type situation or relationship, it's like you don't say anything, like I just want it to disappear, but then it almost sets up the next child to endure whatever the abuses were that you did, because Tiffany wasn't going to stop until somebody stopped her. And I want to say she's still got people over there now. Like, it's really sick and insane. But again, she didn't do this by herself. I had to
Yeah,
bring
cool.
this heifer up because she pissed me off to the uttermost, Tyra. And again, all the parents really pissed me off because I felt like they were complicit and fearful, and just, I don't understand why Tiffany didn't get the dog mess slapped out of her, at least by one of these people. You mean to tell me she was the mafia? Y'all were scared like that? Oh, we didn't want to make her mad. We didn't want to get on her blacklist, because if she said she didn't like you anymore, it was over. But we have Heather Nicole, which was the mother of one of Piper's best friends. This was the only adult allowed to live in the house. She actually went out and bought the poetry costumes for these little
Mhm.
girls. She was basically the sidekick to Tiffany. She did Tiffany's bidding, whatever was needed. She was there, and we had to see her sit up here and force tears because she said,
Girl.
I couldn't do any. I was so helpless. I just had to watch it. I had to watch my child
Like,
and the other children be abused. And
I
then when I,
just stayed from Piper because I was so in fear for that little girl. I stayed there for Piper. Excuse me. What about Sophie? What about your own damn kid, Heffa? Stab her in the face. First of all, she looked like she's on some drugs.
yeah,
Okay, let's
all
start there. She looked like a drug user. Okay, let's start there.
in the
Um,
pocket.
this was pathetic. She, along with those other parents who wanted to be victims so bad, like you belong in the jail next to her. You less time, sure, whatever. You didn't do the actual acts, but you were complacent in them. You saw these things, you heard these things, and you did nothing. She told me make them sexier, get shorter costumes, and she's not as less hoe as Sophie. Hoe up that costume, get them naked, make them buffer, make them, X amount of body parts that they haven't even fully developed yet, make them real busty on the thumbnails. And you were just there and you were just
Yep.
dealing with it.
I
And
didn't like it, but I did it.
she's
I
making
didn't
it
like
seem like it was just Piper. I felt so sorry. We were a family and she made me feel like are we really this complacent? Are we really this dumb? Or were you there for Sophie's opportunity like all the other damn parents? What we're not going to do is play victim after the fact. It was
it.
annoying. She was
And
annoying along with all the rest of them.
she was just the worst because she was living in our house. You living in that whole house with her. I didn't like it, but I did it. I didn't like it, Tyra, but I did it. She told me to do it, and I had to do it because I didn't want to leave Piper there all by herself. Because if I wasn't there to protect her, who was going to protect her? Oh, you didn't protect anybody. You didn't even protect your child. Your child has mental health issues right now. She looked like on this thing. all these kids are damaged from this, and you were complicit. I partially blame you. So easing on down, we get to the lawsuit. Again, they talk to the experts. They talk to the campaign ringleaders and say, listen, we should be compensated. Not she should be under the jail, but she's caused us distress, and our babies have lost opportunities and money and all of that, Tyra. So we are going to file a civil lawsuit where we're not going to make her admit to guilt. We're just going to get this bag, and we're fine after that. Ultimately, the lawsuit was settled out of court, I believe, for $1.8 million that they had to split 11 ways. Tyra, what was the point? At the end of the day, it was just for them couple 100,000, and you had to split that with the attorney, so it wasn't even that. What was the point?
Girl, these parents could have got the hell out of my face. I will say I can't even be mad at the attorney. He was doing his job. Like, what we're not gonna do is harbor on these parents. They're victims as well, you know. Let's focus on the task at hand, the enemy. Like, fight the real enemy. It's not them. You know, they didn't know. So why be mad? Let's just like, yeah, they knew. And the way we're trying to paint it as this is all for the children, it was never about the children, because the only time you decided to do something is when you realized you couldn't get a bag anymore.
That's it.
And then it's that moment where they're just drawn to tears when we physically have detectives and X, Y, and Z sit down with the kids, and it's just this unveiling of information. Well, we knew these things happened. We didn't know. Oh my God, it's just, oh, I just like, go to hell. Go to hell, white people. Who y'all think y'all talking to? Who do you think you're talking to? Like this is sad. I really feel sorry for all the children here involved, because we see what was prioritized. The only mom, I don't know if her, I don't think she's sitting here, who tried to do something was the one whose dad trumped her. And first of all, it will never be, the husband, because you ain't finna have no time for this having to be whispering in your son's ear in the first place to turn him against you, whatever. There's that. But it seems like she tried to, maybe do something. Other, like everybody else, it was just the money train stopped. So now what? Now we have a lawsuit, and now it's this. And even talking to the children, this isn't about money for them. It seems like the children maybe had more of a sway, realizing that we don't want any other children to go through this. And, what about Piper? We need to do something. For these parents, it was always about the money. It's about the money now, and it's about the money later. This was pathetic.
Yeah, it absolutely was. It absolutely was. Because that's the extent of your outrage and indignation. And even the woman whose husband and the son are now estranged from her and all of that, that was too little too late.
Yeah.
That's after you just said he could go live in that lady's house without you even coming to visit. Like, that's
she was sitting at my table. It was a message that she's in my house. Like, why are y'all giving this lady all this power? All the power that they decided to give her here. Nobody's that stupid. They're giving her all this autonomy and power here so they look less guilty and less complacent, because she just could do these. Like, she was a goddamn, she in Slytherin. She just got all this damn magic, huh? To just make y'all do whatever. And it's just, we just didn't know. And she just had all this power. And I don't know. I would have rock with these parents more if somebody was just honest about why they were there and why they stayed for so long and why they're giving the lawsuit now.
Yeah. This was how we made our living, and it was taken away from us abruptly. Be honest. I mean, call a thing a thing. I don't have to like it, but at least I could respect the fact that you were being honest and not trying to sell a dream here. So now demonetized and pivoting, because it took all this for YouTube to demonetize her platform. Imagine that. Imagine that. And so now we're pivoting and we're selling dirty panties to predators. Tyra, I'm not even going to bring up the site that they talk about in the documentary, because I think it's disgusting. It's an OnlyFans for kids, basically.
Yeah.
Basically is what it is. And perverts can make requests, and they do said requests for payment. And so this was immediately the platform that Tiffany pivoted Piper to, and selling dirty panties. And the other half of mama contributed to this as well. Like, you're gonna sell her panties? Like, I'm gonna sell
all
panties?
of them.
Oh, it's nothing. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Tyra, what did you think about Tiffany's plan here? And just the idea that, okay, YouTube finally demonetizes, but now let's put you on this really pervy site and let me basically just sell you to predators. Let me just do that.
This is her. She's inching her way up. She's inching her way up to once Piper is 18 to pimp her out to the highest bidder. That's
And
what
she
this is.
turned 18 this year. Yeah.
This is what this is, and it didn't even start here. It started before, and these parents knew, and they're just writing it off when you have your child come home and say, why do old men like to buy young girls panties? Where'd you hear that? Like, why would you just come in here and say that? It was strange. They would just come home and say these things, and it was just like, where it was like something may be going on, because why would you even just come in here and say things like that? Because you knew and you wrote things off. We had already started this with the man, or the entity person, whoever it was that was sending the boxes and the scooters and the cameras and the
Mhm.
iPhones and the iPads and the gifts. And it was gradually, I think that she was going to be doing these things anyway. This
Oh,
is
for
something she
sure.
just had to, pivot to, because that bag was stopped. But the fact that this is even a thing, this is even a site, this is even a space, these things are sick. But mind you, we cannot breathe on this site. We can't breathe on there. We can't. Let me say something outlandish now. I bet you this stream go fuzzy.
Oh, girl, it'll be yellow in a heartbeat. We
It'll
don't
be yellow.
we
They gonna
don't do that.
snatch it. Everything's gonna mute. It's gonna go. Remember, like when the national anthem will play and it's midnight and it's like, like it's just gonna go off. This
I
was
knew this
sick.
was I knew this was next, Vic. I knew she'd be in one of those freaky OF content houses. I didn't know that she would have put her there at 17 because she's almost 18. Like she just literally turned 18, I believe. They recently had drama because she was in a creator house on OF and she's only 17. Yeah. I'm not surprised if Tiffany was always doing this on the back end in some capacity, selling articles of her clothing, sending videos to certain people like, oh yeah, no, he just likes to give her stuff and it's fine. No, all the girls can do it. It's okay. Yeah, it's definitely leading to escort, because I think I told you, Tyra, when we finally finished it, I was like, okay, so now what? This is her golden goose. This is where
Yeah.
all of the bread come from. What happens when Piper turns 18? And then we saw the escalation. Oh, very scantily clad now, honey. It's over. Like it's out the window. She'll be an escort.
It's
At
just
20.
really sad to see her grooming her daughter. And then you have Piper, when you hear her or have her say anything, it's just, my mom is so great. She sacrificed so much. And she's just conditioned to think that I'm supposed to be the breadwinner because my mom, she got us here. Like I owe her something. And that's
Mhm.
how you have, young girls get into those predicaments anyway. But to be put there by your mother is sick. And then it's just like everybody's watching her be placed there. Nobody's actively doing anything about it.
Yeah. The disciples of Bad Bobby, bound for tragic lives. It's sick and it's insidious. And at the end of the day, these young girls believing that that's all of their worth. That's their entire worth, because we saw throughout the documentary, I think the common thread was Piper was really the parent in a lot of ways in the situation. It felt like she had the weight of the world on her shoulders. We got to see clips where she's bearing the weight of it and she looks miserable and sad and depressed. Like, but we got to do this. We got to record. Even when the hunter guy is directing her, okay, hurry up. We don't have time for this. What are you effing doing? It's like, you got to do this. This is how we pay the bills. This is how we get the everything done. And it's like the weight of the world has been on this baby's shoulders. And no one to protect her at all. Again, Tiffany was never criminally investigated for any of the charges that were levied in the lawsuit. The suit was settled out of court for 1.8 mil, and she denies all of the allegations. Also, Smith, Piper, and Hill refused to be interviewed for the series. Not surprising. And they're still getting a bag. At the end of the day, Tiffany is still profiting off of the exploitation of her child.
Yeah. And that's sad, because this is just another way to put it, but we know DPS and CPS, they have been active for way less.
Oh,
And it's just all about the optics and the position that they're in financially, their complexion, everything else, and the notoriety as to why we aren't active. Because anybody, Felicia and them, girl, we gotta go to work, we gotta leave these kids here. You 12, baby. I gotta leave. I gotta. We busting down the door. We
Yeah,
busting down the door because 12-year-old Kiki was left with Ray Ray because the mom needed to go take a late night shift to pay the bills. But this is going to be, prosperous now, and now it's just like it's really too late. Now she's 18, like so nobody saved her or tried to this entire time, and now if anything does happen, which I'm hoping, like, is this heifer going to do some time or what?
no, no, unless she continues on a path and does something super, I don't know. I can't even say super egregious because damn it, this was all egregious to me. Like you was touching on kids. Like if that didn't get you, what's gonna get you? And it's corroborated over and over and over and over and over again. They witnessed this. It behooves me and it makes me really, really sad because Piper, she's not the only one.
Mm-mm.
This is just the one that's in the news now, but how many other, and I'm not in this space. This documentary was the first exposure I had to any of these children at all. But I know that the space is huge on YouTube, right? Tons of followers, tons of predators, of course. But what else is happening and who else is it happening to? And what can be done? What can be done, Tyra? I don't know.
At this point, it's sad because you don't want to say like it's too late, but now they're going to chalk everything up to, well, now she can do these. Like she's 18, she can do what she wants to do, even though she's been conditioned to do these things. I don't know. I just would suggest that any parent, if you have good intentions with having your kids here, because that's always, you don't know how to divide it now, because when you see kids in these predicaments or things that might not be okay, or scheduling the hours and the time that you have to put in, or the conditions and situations they have to put in to top this content to keep engagement, then it's just like, well, they love it, they wanted to be here. I never, they always had the same, I never pushed my child to do, they just said, mommy, I want to make videos. And I think the only person I believed who really had that ambition was the the young man who had transitioned that she kissed, and all the time, because he was
Oh,
really
mhm.
heartbroken about things being taken, and I've put so much time and effort. I've always wanted to be on camera. Like that was the only one who really was buying for. Everybody else was just trying to kind of catch the money train. Oh, if this is a thing, you're a cute kid, get out there, go, make some content. If we can't do it on our own, going over there over there to Tiffany's. Like there's that. But I just think that anybody else, like, there's no need to attach or give anybody autonomy over your children for success. If you have to sacrifice things in those way, like, why would you do that? Don't sacrifice anything in that way. Whatever she's doing, try to figure it out for yourself and protect your children. If there's a space where, because this is what we see, any of these predator or predator-esque situations, it's always, well, they said I couldn't be on set. They said
Yeah.
I couldn't be there. They said I couldn't be there. Like, if there's ever a moment where you can't be there, then your child should not be there. I just think that that's common sense. But clearly, these people don't know. And we just bystand like common sense just for the opportunity to be in this house or amongst somebody who can afford us an opportunity.
Yeah. And I'm not a parent yet. However, it just seems to me that I'm not one of your little friends. Like I get it. This is your passion. This is something that you love. And I would love to cultivate a space for you to be able to do this safely in. But every opportunity is not for you, baby. And it's my job as a parent to protect you because your brain hasn't even developed yet. You might think this is the end all be all. This is my one shot, mom. And I think some of those kids were probably begging their parents for this opportunity. But at what point do you say, I'm not one of your little friends, baby? I'm looking out for your soul, your health,
Your
your
soul.
no, seriously, I'm looking out for your mental health. Like I want you to be a whole person. And if it means missing out on this one opportunity,
That's
that's
the
what it
wrong house,
is.
baby. That's the wrong house. Nobody in that, every parent in that house wanted to actively be one of your little friends. Everybody. So that was never a conversation that was going to be had if we want to be the cool mom.
Yeah,
Because Piper Mom was the cool mom.
damn it. Damn the cool mom. I want you to be safe and not dealing with mental health issues. All these babies are scarred. Like, and was it worth it?
All
Was
of
it
them.
really worth it?
And I
That's
think it was
all.
extremely particular, the ones, her flesh and blood, that she decided to take it a step further with and put them in situations where they were preyed upon. Like, yeah, she's been that way. I just really feel sorry for Piper and what she may have been put through or what she's maybe done to her.
Yeah, and what's still happening to her, and let her tell it. You know, my mom's great. Like, it's fine. Like
Those
everything's
videos are
okay.
scary. She looks under duress, and it's just no.
Yeah.
It's just draining. It's just to see the earlier videos versus the videos that we got later. But I did appreciate the ending of the doc. It just kind of felt like an outcry, like Piper, if you hear or see this, you
Yeah.
have a place. We're here for you. You know, we still care. We don't care about any of those things that happened before. We just want you to be okay. And if you know, want to give us a call or you need help, like we're here for you. I did appreciate
Yeah.
that part.
And I hope so. But she's so heavily controlled. I just know that it's, stuck. Darfelina says, and the craziest part is she probably used the money those other kids earned to pay that. So she did. I mean, like, I don't even think like you can wrap your head around how much money Tiffany's made off of Piper and these other kids. Like, insanity. But you guys, that was it in a nutshell. We know that it was heavy subject matter, but something that definitely needs to be discussed and awareness raised, because while, babies can have dreams and aspirations, but a parent has to protect them, especially in this space where you're showing every aspect of their lives, not only for the online exploitation of it all, but for their literal physical safety in real life, because people are lunatics. So protect your babies, y'all. But we appreciate y'all being here. Tyra, anything you want to let the people know about before we get out of here and get on to the next live?
I would say, y'all, we'll be right back. We'll be here 2 more times tonight, so buckle up. We're coming right back.
Buckle up. Thank you guys so much for being here, and we will see y'all in the next video.
Rewind. Hey, time. I need more space to secure.